Hello there, everyone. Welcome to another Monday night here in my studio, ready to get a little inky with you, everybody. Looking forward to seeing who pops on tonight, and of course, who's going to be watching later. Say hello to all of you, however you are joining me this evening. Just going to rearrange a few things here on my table before I get started. Just a reminder, it is almost time for us to find out what is going to be happening with the color refresh and retiring items. That's information that's going to be available to me on the 29th in around the midday time for me here in Wisconsin. And I will hopefully have that shared with you shortly thereafter. As I've said before, with the color refresh, all that good stuff, that means a lot of things are going to be disappearing and to welcome some brand new stuff, which is always fun. But because of those things that are disappearing, people are going to want to grab them ASAP. It is likely they will sell out fast. So if you know it's something you want, do not dawdle or hesitate or anything like that to grab up those items. Grab an ink refill for your ink pad. You have extra cardstock if you want to keep using that color, all that great stuff. I would get that order in literally that same day. That is exactly what I plan to do if there's anything that I would like to have on hand still. For that purpose. So it's going to be an exciting time. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you tonight. I've been a part of a couple of color refreshes, and yes, there's a little, let's see, like a morning period or whatever you want to call it. Oh, Karen, you're live tonight. Yay. Send us some more sunshine. It's working pretty well. We got a whole bunch of snow again, but it was nice and sunny today and a bunch of it's melting off. So send some of that Florida sun up here. But like I said, grab those things quickly as they might disappear. I've been through several color refreshes, and there's a few things that you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's leaving. And then you'll see some new stuff and go, oh yeah, but this color's like so pretty too. So they do a great job with their color families. They always keep them up to date and fresh. And color is a trend. I mean, you know it from clothing and interior design and all that kind of stuff. You know how things trend in and out and come back again, and the same thing happens for us in our crafting world. So it's time for us to do a little refresh, and I promise y'all it'll be really cool. When like I said, you might have a little bit of panic when you first see the list and go, oh my gosh, because we all do. Even us demonstrators see something and we're going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're getting rid of whatever it is. So sunny and 87, beautiful Karen. Again, send some of that up here. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of new product again tonight. I've posted it on my Facebook page. It should be pinned up at the top about the online exclusive product. This is another one of those that's on there. It's called Tropical Leaf. It has a stamp set and a matching punch, so you can get it bundled together at that bundle discount. I'm assuming that these are stems for long leafy things like this. I have to look up more tropical like things, but they're still, those are kind of funky shapes. And then these, of course, will fill in the what's that, the veining of a leaf. So is that what we call it? Of each of those two. The punch fits the larger one. The smaller one you can fussy cut very easily. I'll show it to you later on a project tonight too. It's really easy to just go around that shape. I didn't even bother trying to get in between or anything. So super simple. And the font here I think is really kind of fun. Looks very sketchy and handwritten. So Tropical Leaf, you can find that in the online exclusives. And again, more information on my Facebook page if you'd like to see that. Okay, so let's get started with what we need tonight. I realized after I posted it that this might sound a little confusing. So if you saw it later, I did post an update on how to cut it better. And I'm going to show you that here on camera just in case you missed that. So, you're going to start out with your piece of cardstock is 5.5 by 8.5. And we're going to end up making these two pieces out of it. So you're going to have a piece that's 5.5 by 6 3/4, and you're going to have a piece that's 5.5 by 1 3/4. Then you want some neutral cardstock. You want two pieces that are 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm using shaded spruce tonight. And this is basic white. And then another piece that's 1.5 by 5 1/4. Then you want some designer series paper. One piece that is 2 by 5, and one is 1 1/4 by 5. Now this is the shaded spruce, one of the patterns of shaded spruce in the Regal's family collection of pattern paper. So the other side looks like that with the flowers, but I'm using the stripes part tonight. And then you wanted another piece of cardstock that is, oops, of course that's black on black. So let me try this. 1 by 4, and I said score it at about 3 inches. So you're basically going to have this little fold happening, okay, with that piece right there. And we're going to do a twist on what I believe is called a gatefold. So it's usually when you fold both sides in together to meet, and so you would open it like a door kind of a concept. We're going to do something similar to that, a little bit of twist on that. Then you want some kind of focal point that's about 2 by 2.5 inches. I'm going to punch and cut one of my leaves here so you can see how this stamp set works together really nicely. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to make my focal point. So if you haven't done yours yet, you can be doing that. All right, so here is my shaded spruce leaf, which is very sticky because it's brand new photopolymer. And then I'm going to add the veining in black with my memento. Okay, and those like a regular two-step stamp, it's going to fit right over the top. And there is the veining in my leaf. Bring that up a little bit. So you can see there's the veining in my leaf. And then, as always, stamp first, punch second, because it'll be way easier to line up and do. And you're just going to go in like so, line it up. And this punch does have the little parts that go inserting into there, so you have a really neat leaf shape by the time you are all done. All right, so that is going to be my focal point part tonight. All right, let me show you how I did the cutting for this then. You're going to take your paper trimmer, and I had said to have a score line at 2.5, so we're going to start with that. Move my cutting blade down. So I'm going to put that into 2.5, and I'm using it along the 8.5 inch edge, okay? So there's my 2.5 inch score line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it, so the score line is now out here, and I'm going to do the cut at 1 3/4. And that's going to give me my piece that is 1 3/4 by 5.5. And then what's left should be the 6 3/4 that has been scored at 2.5. So hopefully that makes a little more sense, except once I had that all written out, I was like, you know, that might be a little confusing. So hopefully everybody got the hang of that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some bending with our score lines here. Okay. Gonna go with that code right there. Now this is the way that the card is going to open up. Okay. I had some ink on my fingers, which is why there's now a spot on the inside of my cardstock. And of course, this piece here that you have is your, with that 3 inch, go ahead and do a little burnishing on that little fold line as well. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to attach our DSP to the 2 pieces of neutral that will coordinate with them. So your 1 1/4 inch one is going to go on your 1.5 inch wide one right there. And then of course this one, your 2 inch, is going to go on your 2 1/4. Now these will frame up to fit here now. So we're going to take the 2.5 inch one, and it's going to be on the outside of the flap that we just made. Okay, like so. There we go. So that's going to be on that flap there. Then we are going to take this one, and we're going to attach those pieces there. Now, before we tape this down, we're going to put, this is going to end up being, I'll show you how it's all going to go together. This is going to tuck behind, and it's going to act like a flap to open, so to speak. But we're going to tape this entire thing down. So the first thing we want to do is attach the pieces here. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on the tiny part. That's going to go, whoopsie, everything went away. That's going to go there. So about halfway up or so is where I'm going to make that fit there. Okay, so that tiny piece is attached back there, and it's going to be kind of like an open flap part there. And then we are going to adhere this entire part down to the left edge of this piece here. And so it's going to have the look and feel. I actually scored that wrong, didn't I? That's why it looked funny. Let me try that one more time. Did I not go over to 2.5? I did not go over to 2.5. That was half my problem right there. I thought it looked funny when I put it down. Oh, don't cut. There we go. Okay, so pardon that. Remember how I said it looks so easy? I'm like, this does not seem to be right. But, you know, this is why we do this. so you can see how it's easy to fix. And it's going to get covered up anyway by this and my focal point. All right, beauty of live television, everybody. Still so you get to see the mistakes and then how to fix them. Okay, so now you can see this is going to have the look and feel of that book fold, that opening both ways, except it also has then the latch mechanism that is sometimes put on a different style card. So now we are going to put our focal point onto here. Now you can decide too, if this is a little too long and you don't want it to go over that far, feel free to cut it off a little bit. I'm going to have my leaf be right about in here, I think. All right, so there's my leaf. And that's really all that's going to happen on the front of this card. Now you can decide later if you want to add more to it, embellishment. You could have also used 2 different patterns of designer series paper here, all kinds of different things, whatever made you feel, whatever you decide you want yours to look like. Now this other piece of white that we have is going to end up being the inside part here where our verse is going to sit. So you're going to go ahead and grab whatever you brought for your phrase tonight. And that's why I hadn't made sure you told me that, or I told you that it shouldn't be wider than this piece right here, because otherwise it would go off the edges. Okay, so here's my hello. I really love that font. I think that one is so cute. Okay, and that is then going to line up on the inside at this edge over here. And again, there's a little bit of a border that sits around it, and it's going to hide behind the flap. Okay, so there, after some, sorry about the confusion, once I had it laid out, I was like, that does not look right. So there it is. This is a very simple, basic version of a way to do this fun fold. So you've got the latch opening, and then of course that part over there. Okay, let me go ahead and show you a couple different other ones I did with different designer series papers. Same concept. This one is using the Country Floral Lane DSP. One of the versions in that has these pretty flowers all over it that are in the Mossy Meadow and the Petal Pink. So that is what I've used there. And I have vanilla actually as my neutral. And I used a piece of cotton ribbon there. And I actually I decorated this part here a little bit as well with my stamp. So I stamped tone on tone the little flowers in Petal Pink, just to dress that part up a little bit. And there again, there's my inside. So it says, just wanted to say I love you. And that all comes from the Country Bouquet stamp set. And those are in the mini catalog on page 9. Oops, let me get that out of visual range. There we go. Okay. Then I did one for Easter with my Easter Bunny Punch. I just absolutely adore him and think he is so fun. And this country, let me see, the gingham, there we go. The Country Gingham DSP is just, I actually love this, and I totally need to get some more of it before it disappears forever. With the catalog, I just think these patterns are cute, and the colors they've put in them are just so awesome. So this is the mint macron, and I used a different pattern from that same color, just a different pattern to make the bunny itself. And then I added some linen thread as a little bow, and then I have my Happy Easter stamped in there. Okay, so there's another version. I went back to Country Bouquet and the Country Floral Lane DSP again. I stayed away from the ones that are very Valentine-y looking. So this is another one of the DSPs, and it has this bicycle in it. Several different color combinations across. And I just fussy cut one, very basic. You could just very basic shape on that. And then I added some other parts from it. It has this really cute, this little cute border. So this is the piece that goes in between these two. So it's like one, as you look at the designer series paper, you have these little flowers, and then you have some bicycles, then you have more flowers. So I took a little section and I added the 2 pieces with the flowers just to decorate the inside. And I took my bicycle to the front, and it says, I love that we are friends. And then this is the back side of one of those pieces from Country Floral Lane. And then thinking a little bit ahead, I did a Father's Day card already with the Beside Me stamp set. And so this focal point is a little bit larger, I know, but I love this particular stamp. It's really great for either watercoloring, coloring with your blends, or what I did here is I did paper piecing. So what I did is I actually stamped the image a couple of times onto other pieces of designer series paper, and then cut those out and put them over the stamped image there. So that's how their shirts all look patterned and etc. And then I colored with some blends just the rest of it around them. But I thought this one made a really neat Father's Day card And then this is from the He's the Man Designer Series paper. So there's several of those that we'll be going through on their way out, of course. All of these guys from the mini catalog. He's the Man is a current one in our annual catalog. And of course, since we're having a color refresh, all the color family DSPs will also be changing because there will be new colors coming in. So here is the stepped up version of what I did. This time I did incorporate the other two, or the smaller leaf as well. I just cut 2 of them out. Again, that was really super easy to fussy cut. And again, just the basic shape. And I still punched the one. And I added some matte dots in the white. And it still says hello. But then I also added these stripes using this stamp here. So first I stamped it in spruce. And then I offset it a little bit and stamped it again in black. So it's just a little portion of that middle part here without the little bulbous ends. Just to add a little interest. But I thought that was kind of a fun way to use that stamp before I get really into the tropicalness of it by adding those leaves to those stems. Is that what we call those? I'm not exactly sure. That sounds like I need to do some more research on tropical plants because I don't know too much about tropical leaves, I guess. All right, let me lay all these guys out again for you. Move this out of the way for a second. All right, there are those guys. And then again, some of the more springy looking ones. Since we are hopefully officially in that time of year now, I would like to see less snow and more spring-like sunshines. All right, that's going to be it for tonight, everybody. I hope you enjoyed making this layout. Again, I apologize for the confusion on the cut. Hopefully that didn't mess anybody up too much. Because I said the words right, I just didn't score it in the right spot. So that was my bad. I think that was everything I had to share. Yeah, that's all of it. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. Appreciate you being with me here again. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Karen, for tuning in live. And I will see y'all again next Monday. Take care now.